So you would have seen in my hike that I was like, oh, I can't wait to get back because I know there's this great cafe. Well, that was closed, so couldn't go there. But I found there's so many in Italy, it's no problem. But I drove about a third of the way up the really intimidating pass that I've been dreading this week. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is the going down, and I'm sure people with T3s, especially people with heavier T3 high tops, and especially those who have got Syncro T3 high tops, like the heaviest of the bunch, because the brakes on these vans just aren't sufficient. So you are really, you really have to be careful. One thing that's important is always put on sun cream, especially in these old T3s, because you just get cooked in the front. I've got no tint whatsoever and it is brutal. And remember to always do your ears, because that's actually a really common place for skin cancer. So we're just about to reach the top of the Giau Pass. I didn't have any plans to do another hike, but there's one here that everyone seems to be doing and the views are spectacular, so I'm going to do it. To be honest, I'm really nervous. This is the biggest, steepest descent I've done this far since I had the horrible brake failure earlier on in my trip. One of the things I do now on these big descents is I just walk around the van after say 3 kilometers of like 10%, and I just go around, just feel the rims, and I've got pretty good at knowing now what the temperature of the rim equates to in terms of how hot they're getting. Just to give you guys some idea of what I mean by all these switchbacks. So I was just at the top of the Giau Pass, just there where that little white dot is, and so I still have all of this going down. So it's stop number 2. This one came up much quicker than the last one because the gradient is about 12% and they're very short and steep, so you don't even have like a little bit more of a longer switchback so that you can let the brakes cool. They're on and off even in a low gear, so just letting them cool down. I've left it about 20 minutes so far. I've ended up doing a couple of extra hikes, so I did one there, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, Giau Pass, did a little hike there. Obviously I hiked to Lake Sorapis this morning at 4:30 in the morning, and now I'm on my way to Sassalungo. There's so many words that I'm struggling with at the moment. So I just literally just went and got some food. I'm about an hour away. One of the biggest challenges is just how busy it is at this time of the year. I guess nowadays the season is in full swing by June. I was meant to be here earlier, but I had problems with the van, so it stalled everything by nearly a month, and you know the rest. So anyway, I'm going to keep going now. I've got 11k, but it's going to take over an hour because it's just constant switchbacks. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. So I have just stopped at the Sassalungo Pass. I'm not quite at the top yet, but my goodness, it's beautiful up here. See the van there, and panoramic views are just spectacular. It's just not enough time to see everything. I'm gonna have to come back. There's just no other option. So I've just made it to the Teeda cable car. I wanted to get here earlier, but I couldn't leave the campsite I stayed at till they open the gates at 7, and it's a really big mountain climb and descent to get here. This is the bit I don't like. When it goes past these little things, it rumbles. Ready? More. One thing to mention is that if you do get the cable car on your own, it's quite expensive. It's 38 euros, which was a bit of a shock because you have to also pay for parking, which is 12 euros. So it's an expensive experience. I'm hoping it's worthwhile. I've seen some amazing photos from the top of here, so you know, when in Rome, or in this case, Northern Italy. Over to the main viewpoint. This is another one of those locations, a little bit like Prague Wild Sea, where there is just so many people, but you just can't miss it. You've got to come because it is spectacular. Short and sweet on this one. It's so busy. It was beautiful. If you look carefully, you can see the van coming into view. So for camper vans, overland vehicles, you're going to want to park at the back of the cable car place. You can see my van just tucked away there. The pre-on kayak just gives it away. Looking good. Back at the Mendola Pass. It's nice to be back, kind of feels like a second home now.
Checks up on his face as well.